Saturday, Saturday, Saturday matinee, matinee. Hello, Oilers fans, and welcome to Oilers Nation's Pregaming with BORDZY, presented by Sherwood Ford, live from the Sports Closet studio, where the first YouTube comment of the day is from the guy who still owes me a beach vacation, Lance Kane, and he says, I hope Tyler is feeling better today and doesn't feel hated. So let me ask you myself, as if he would turn his head up and look up. I am joined by Tyler Yaremchuk. He's got to get his tweet out. We got to get the pre-show tweet out. Tyler, do you feel less hated today than yesterday?
But only because Lance Kane made that nice post about me the other day, to which then people claimed he was a Tyler Yaremchuk bot. So it worked though, Lance. I feel great.
Hey, we take care of our own here, okay? We take care of our own here in the chat. We stand together. I like this comment from Dacky. Safe to say this is a must-win game for the Oilers today. Tyler?
Oh, yes, it's a must-win game. It is November 4th, and we have already reached must-win territory. You are at home. You are playing a team you traditionally beat the living hell out of, and you are 2-6-1. Win this hockey game.
This is a get-right game of all get-right games. This is one where we need to get things back on track just a little bit. I laughed from Tyler Mulick in here. This made me laugh in the chat. He said, Ralph with a huge game. These Oilers are so back. Posted at 11:17 a.m. Then he follows it up with, oh, I thought this was Oilersnation After Dark stream. My bad.
You know, this is an exciting game for a bunch of reasons, though. One of which, obviously, it's Raph Lavoie season.
That's right, baby. I think everybody in town is excited to see what we're going to see from Raph Lavoie. I know Liam is probably very excited to see this. He's been making this a large deal in the office from day to day. But, Tyler, today is Saturday. It is the matinee, which means last night was Friday. And I believe you were down at the Claire Drake Arena for some U of A Golden Bears hockey.
Yeah, season also not going as planned for the University of Alberta Golden Bears. They lost 3-1 to Saskatchewan. But if you're in Edmonton and you're sitting there going, I need something to do tonight, there is nothing better than hockey at Claire Drake Arena. So they're playing again tonight at 7 o'clock. So after you watch the Oilers game, go get a couple beers in you, make your way down to Claire Drake. It's a good night.
That's just a good stack of hockey on hockey on hockey. Sports and beers, Crown Royal. Sounds like a great day to me. I don't know about you. But continue with that. I did see last night you were able to get a Matt Berlin autograph for a jersey for one of our friends here from the nation.
Yeah, so Jay's cousin, Mikey D, for some reason, I actually don't know why he did it. He bought himself a fully authentic custom Matt Berlin jersey. And when we were at the Heritage Classic, I was like, hey, man, like, I can get that signed for you. Like, I'm at the U of A for every home game, whatever. I can go down to the room. And Matt was pretty fired up to see it. Like, he came out of the room and was kind of like, what do you want? And I was like, well, like, I got this thing. I'm sorry you guys just lost, but like, do you mind? And he had a smile on his face. He's like, man, I don't even know where people get this stuff. He talked about how cool it was. He noticed when we posted on social media at the Heritage Classic as well. So pretty cool for him that, you know, that little 5-minute stretch of NHL hockey has continued to be a thing for him.
We said, hey, when he's done his time at the U of A, we got to get him on this show, Oilers Nation every day. I think Matt Berlin, I think he'd have a good maybe future career in media. He's a well-spoken guy. As we said before, it's not bad to look at either. He's a good-looking dude. So there you go. We like that. For me, for my Friday night, I went out, I had a couple beers last night, and I think I got like 10, 15 people to subscribe to the Oilers Nation YouTube. I keep doing that for some reason now. I don't really know why, but I was challenging guy to rock, paper, scissors. And if he lost, he had to subscribe. So I hope he's tuning in right now and like the video. Once again, we're trying to get 89 likes really for as long as I can to keep this Sam Gagner train rolling right now, because the train was moving on Thursday night. It was a good time. But just doing some housekeeping of things in the sports world. Tyler, I'm curious if you saw this. Have you seen this NBA in-season tournament thing that they're doing? It is wildly confusing to me. It's a tournament throughout the season, so the games, just select games, are like special different games. Like yesterday, the Bucks had one, so the floor was all different, and it counts towards an NBA Cup trophy. Do you know what this is? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so like I think they're stealing a little bit from like a European soccer kind of thing, where like at random points throughout the year, your regular season games are designated as like NBA Cup games, and you're trying to get points towards that. And then once they're done the play-in round, they're going to like all go to Vegas and play in like a single elimination mid-season tournament. And I think the winner gets cash, or does the winner like get a guaranteed playoff spot or something?
I think it's cash. I think it is. Hey, let me know in the chat if anybody knows. I like the idea of them trying something different. I'm still a little confused by it and how this is all going to work, and how it's like, I don't know. They said it's to like make you more interested in like a Tuesday game when they're all going on. Why would you care about the Trailblazers versus the Bucks kind of dealio? You have some more reason for that one. So I got to feel this one out a little bit more. I thought it was very weird yesterday. I was very confused why the court looked the way that it did. And it was in the shape of like an NBA Cup.
Yeah. So let's flip it back to hockey. Like if the NHL were to do something where, let's say, your first 8 divisional games, so the first, or I guess 7 divisional games, first time you play every team in your division, those count towards the NHL Cup. And then let's say mid-January, the league just goes, okay, the teams who had the best record out of those 7 games, you're now down to 4 of them, or maybe you add a wild card spot or 2 or whatever. You say those teams are all going to go to insert the destination, probably Vegas, like the NBA. They're all going to go to Vegas. They're going to play each other one more time. And the team that comes out on top is going to get $5 million, and they're going to guarantee themselves a spot in the playoffs. So like a team like Arizona, if they just got hot for like those 7 games, went to the NHL Cup, they could get a spot in the playoffs. Would people like that? Does it cheapen the regular season, or does it give you like legit meaningful playoff hockey in January, and will people tune into it?
Yeah, it's a cool idea. It's like, once again, you could trap lightning in a bottle. As long as you're fire for those games right there, you got a shot into it. I love this. Also, Super Gremlin in the chat says $500K for each player. That's a nice little bit of coin right there. I would take that all day, every day. But I love this from Dacky. Dacky, I saw this today as well. So it was Mark Titus on a Barstool podcast. And Dacky says, Barstool has the greatest idea last night to improve NBA games. You get one breakable backboard night where there's a random hoop across like 12 games in the NBA. And you say one of those backboards is breakable tonight. So then you got to watch it all. I know that's so stupid, but I would love to see a Shaq rip another hoop down, okay? That's a good time. Continuing here with this, the NHL Cup, March says they'd be down for that. Christopher Palmer, the Wayne Gretzky Championship Cup. There you go. There's a name for that. You got to get Wayno involved. But as we said, Tyler, it's a matinee game today. As everybody knows, for the Edmonton Oilers, matinee games have not been our strong suit. We've always had a hard time getting up for these early ones. So my anxiety is a little bit higher today than it should be for a Nashville Predators game.
Yeah, and I mean, when you consider kind of, everything that's on the line for the Oilers as well, like this is a big game, and matinees, I know, always leave Oilers fans feeling a little bit uneasy, and I get it. But that's also something that there's been years where they've kicked it and gone like 6-4 in their matinees or 6-3 in their matinees. So again, yes, I understand. Watching hockey at weird times of the day always gives you kind of like the Oilers aren't going to show up for this one. I saw someone in the chat was like, I don't even want to watch hockey at this time of the day. How would the players want to play hockey? But if you're the Oilers, I mean, come on, you got to power through that. You're in the same situation as the Predators. They had to travel and play a matinee as well. You're on home ice. So you got to dig deep, find a way to get this thing done here. Like, losing this game is so unacceptable. Against Dallas, I gave them a pass because that's a good team. They played well, 98 shot attempts, all those numbers that we talked about on Owen every day yesterday. All those numbers are good. Today against Nashville, that's not enough. 2 points is all that matters.
Yesterday was full of loser talk from us on both ends. I can't lie. We were trying to spin it. I was very pleased with the effort from the Oilers, but yes, couldn't have said it better myself. Tonight, it's must win. You cannot drop this one. The theme in the last game for me, it was odd man rushes being given up on Thursday night there. I cannot have any more major gaffes and just dumb pinches like Cody Ceci on the side of the boards there. That's what I'm looking at tonight, Tyler. Anything kind of stepping out to you, Raph Lavoie?
Yeah, we'll talk about Lavoie. I think maybe he deserves his own thing. For me, one giant thing I'm keeping an eye on tonight, and there was someone in the chat here who said it as well. Like, this is a get-right game for 97 and 29. It was Be Clean who said it. No anxiety needed. This is the game for 97 and 29 to get going. For me, that's where I'm at. Last game, got the big moments from Sam Gagner. That line with Gagner and Kane played really, really well. Kane scored in the first. If the Oilers would have gotten one goal from either McDavid or Draisaitl or the power play, then that game's going to overtime. Maybe the Oilers win. Tonight, I think it's time for 97 and 29 to really kick it into high gear a little bit here. You even go back to that game against the Flames at the Heritage Classic, and I mean, Brett Kulak scores, Vinny Desharnais scores, Evander Kane pops home the empty netter. I know Zach Hyman's goal was assisted by Leon Draisaitl, so was Bouchard's, but let's go. Let's have another dominant performance from 97 and 29 here tonight.
Yep, I'm looking for that as well. So a little note for Oilers Nation After Dark, which will not be dark out at the time. I'm going to be joined by Coomzy today. He's actually coming into the office, so he'll be on the couch with me right here. We're going to watch the game here at the office. And I guess I haven't mentioned him yet. Hello, Gavin. You are behind the camera as well today. How you doing, Gav?
Doing fantastic. And as the title says, getting back on track again today. So let's do it up.
Let's try this again. Okay, let's get this back on the rails again. So that leads me to my Sherwood Ford Giants storyline. For me, it's no time for talking. It is time to act. No more moral victories. No more silver linings. I need wins, and I need them now. I need them yesterday. Wins, wins, wins. I am so done with loser talk, because I feel like that's all I've been doing for these first 9 games here and on Oilers Nation every day. Wins, wins, wins. No more excuses, Tyler. Pedal to the metal.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I just said. Again, we sat there, talked about Dallas, the fact that they just caved them in for 3 straight periods and couldn't solve Scott Wedgwood. Like, again, they played good. I'm okay with that effort, but now you really, really don't want this record to keep falling. I keep standing by my take that they will be back at 500 by the time they play the Tampa Bay Lightning on November 18th. You got to go 5-1 here to get that done. So giddy up. This is one of those games on home ice. You just can't drop this one to the Nashville Predators. And we'll talk about the Preds in a bit, but it's a team that's been looking pretty average as of late.
That's right. Giddy up, baby. Couldn't have said it better myself. So the Edmonton Oilers lineup report is presented by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. So they used to be known as Free Spirit Marine and Power Sports since 1985. Okay, they know their stuff. They're teaming up with the good people at Sherwood Ford to relocate to my neck of the woods in Sherwood Park. They've got a brand new state-of-the-art facility in the heart, right by Millennium Place. We talked about it. It has a sick all-black exterior. It just looks like the coolest building ever. 91,000-liter test pool to service your boats in. Drive-through service. Who doesn't love that? They'll be selling fishing boats, pontoon boats, ATVs, side-by-sides, and motorcycles opening in February 2024. But without further ado, Gavin, once again, these lines are projected. We will get a better look, I think, as closer we get to puck drop. But there, we see it on your screen. A top line of Zach Hyman, Connor McDavid, and Leon Draisaitl, followed up by a big old Evander Kane, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and, of course, Sam Gagner. I love to see him on that line right now. I really do feel like Woody's hands were tied after that last 10 minutes in the third period of the last game. They were buzzing around there. You really have no choice. Further we look down, Dylan Holloway with Ryan McLeod and Warren Fogle. That third line sure has been a polarizing topic of conversation in the YouTube chat, on our shows, I think for just Oiler fans in general. And then you see it on the bottom, Derek Ryan, and I don't know what number he's going to wear. I assume 62 would be my guess, but yeah. Raph Lavoie has joined the lineup today. Tyler, let's start there. Raph Lavoie, what are you expecting tonight? What do you expect to see from him? And yeah, overall thoughts. He's finally up with the big club.
To me, there's been such a difference between what we saw from Raph Lavoie in the preseason and the kind of player you hear about in the American League. Like, granted, I don't watch a ton of Bakersfield Condors games, but everything I read from Bruce Carlock and people that do is that he's like tenacious on the forecheck. He uses his size. He does so many things well. He's a volume shooter. I didn't see any of that in the preseason. So what do I want to see from Raph Lavoie today? Stick to your game, man. Like, again, 11-7, that means he's going to get some shifts with talented players. Go out there, be a volume shooter. Go out there, be physical. Take a look at what Sam Gagner did, man. Hard-nosed, go to the net, hit everything that moves, and good things will happen to you. So I really want to see Raph Lavoie stick to the game that gave him success in the American League. He's a dude who recorded a Gordie Howe hat trick the other day. You don't record Gordie Howe hat tricks by sitting on the perimeter and not getting your nose a little dirty, right? So I really want to see Lavoie just play his style of game. I don't want him to go out there and be like, oh, I need to play like a fourth liner and just chip the puck in and, you know, sit on the edges and wait for my chances. Like, go make some stuff happen because you're going to get opportunities. You're going to get minutes because there's only 11 forwards in the game for the Oilers.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see him get a little run with Connor and Leon. I'm very curious to see how Jay is going to deploy Raph Lavoie. I saw Zach Lang had a pretty big tweet there that had some reactions to it. Gavin snickering behind the camera right now. But he tweeted his combos at his ideal in his mind, and he had Raph Lavoie on the first line with Connor and Leon. He had Evander Kane on the third line, which a lot of people were really ripping into for there. But for him, it was more about having Kane bring up that third line, and that if you had Raph on the first, we know Connor and Leon against the Preds are going to get their points, and that Raph could just play his game really with no pressure. So I'm very curious to see if he's going to get some run with the big dogs and how that's really going to go. But once again, the Oilers lineup is by necessity, not strategy, because Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark are both out, projected, I believe so. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So, hey, we're going nuclear again with the top line, right?
Yeah, and another thing just to keep in mind here as you look at the way that at least the bottom six is kind of constructed. Before the last game, even up into pregame warmups, when you were watching the line rushes for the Oilers, Gagne and Derek Ryan were taking line rushes together at morning skate, at practice, at the pregame skate and warmups. They only ended up playing 48 seconds together. So if you're looking at this and you're going, oh, Lavoie's going to be stuck with Derek Ryan, I don't think that will be the case at all. Again, Sam Gagne was not used as a fourth line winger in that last game. I'm pulling up his shift chart right now. He played 640 with Ryan McLeod, 527 with Dylan Holloway, 430 with Evander Kane, and 330 with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. They moved him around the lineup a ton, and I really do think we're going to see that same thing here tonight. Like Connor McDavid in the last game spent at least a minute, which you could break down to basically meaning 2 shifts at 5-on-5 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different forwards. Okay, that means there's only 4 forwards in this lineup who McDavid didn't spend a minute with, and 2 of them are the other 2 centermen, and Ryan McLeod and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So I do think Lavoie is going to get moved around a ton. I do think he's going to get a good amount of opportunity. And if he doesn't, I'm going to question Jay Woodcroft a little bit. And I'd go, hey, man, look, you gave Sam Gagne, again, a guy who has good offensive IQ, who put up good numbers in his granted brief time in the American League. You gave him runway, you gave him opportunity, you gave him minutes, and look what he turned around and did. To me, Woodcroft should be sitting there going, well, if Sam Gagne at 34 years old off double hip replacement can give me 10 good minutes, then maybe I should give Dylan Holloway more minutes. Maybe I should give Raph Lavoie more minutes, and maybe they can start to also contribute in a positive way on the score sheet.
Yeah, it's going to be very curious to see how these all get deployed. As I said, not by strategy, it's by necessity tonight. So I'm never really a fan of stacking, going nuclear with Connor and Leon. I always say I'd like to start the game on separate lines. You can always throw them together later. As we know, the blender comes out 2 minutes into the game usually. But if you are going to stack the first line, Zach Hyman is always the guy for me. He's Mr. Consistency. Stick on the ice in front of the net. Connor and Leon will just feed a puck off your stick, and it will go in. So I really like that combo. But the second line of Gags in the top 6 with Evander Kane and RNH, that's so awesome to see. It only took the third period to get this rolling again. I said Woody had no choice after the last game to pair up Gagne and Kane. Somebody in the After Dark chat kept saying they need to live together. I hope that they hung out yesterday and they keep it going because they really looked like they had some chemistry for the last 10 minutes of the game on Thursday night.
Yeah, so like for me, playing McDavid and Draisaitl together, I always call it a luxury, right? Like I don't think this team quite has the depth rolling, like at least a couple weeks ago when I was making this argument. Their depth wasn't rolling in a way where you could keep McDavid and Draisaitl together. But now you look, I mean, Warren Fogel's playing some great hockey right now. But the biggest one is Evander Kane. Evander Kane being a legitimate play-driving winger for this team, that gives you the luxury to keep McDavid and Draisaitl together because you can look at that trio of 93, 91, and 89 and go, okay, when they're on the ice, good things will happen. They can score goals. They can produce. And a couple of weeks ago, you couldn't say that about any line that McDavid and Draisaitl weren't on. So Kane playing as good as he is and being a legit driver is what's giving the Oilers the option to go nuclear. And it's the reason I'm not complaining about it. And I was complaining about it 10 days ago.
Hey, there you go. Christopher Palmer here has a question. What did Fogues do that placed him on the third line? I don't know if it's necessarily he did anything or just Gagne took that spot and you got to ride the hot hand. Where do you kind of come out on that? It is funny to add Warren Foegele to the third line that hasn't been producing when I think of Warren Foegele as the king of not producing, maybe just on breakaways more so my brain goes there. But what do you think of that addition to the third line? You're going to get some extra energy, maybe some finishing?
Yeah, and again, I think you're going to look at that spot or a couple spots in the top 6, and it's going to get rotated around a lot. Foegele will still get his shifts, I think, with 97 and 29 in this hockey game, but there is something to be said, kind of what Zach said with his line combos, but with Foegele sliding down. Fogel's humming. He's skating hard. He's getting chances. He's banging bodies. He's doing a lot of things well. So put him on that line and see if some of that can rub off on Dylan Holloway and Ryan McLeod. Because those two, I mean, they're not doing anything with their scoring chances. Ryan McLeod's fumbling the puck when he gets it in the slot. Dylan Holloway's missed on some odd man rushes this season as well. So why not put a guy who's red hot up there and maybe see if there's a little bit of like he bangs in their chances or he starts doing good things and McLeod or Holloway can just pick up a greasy goal. I like spreading him out a little bit.
Yep. Okay. So we know that Foegele on that line is because your good friend, Connor Brown, Tyler. Connor Brown will not be playing tonight in the game. Final Buzzer has a question here. What if Lavoie looks way better than Connor Brown? Where's your brain going to be at? You're defending Connor Brown to the end, right?
Yeah. Here's what's going to happen is that's really bad news, not for Connor Brown. That's really bad news for Derek Ryan and Matthias Janmark. Because if Lavoie comes up and is a really good bottom 6 winger who's driving offense and creating chances and pushing play the right way, they're not going to waive Connor Brown in that scenario. They're going to waive Derek Ryan or Matthias Janmark. And honestly, like, that's a really, really good outcome to have. Like, Gavin, if you could flash up the lines again here, just so I can have the visual of what I'm going to go through and say. But if you can all of a sudden have a fourth line that is, let's say it's Dylan Holloway, when again, you're full 12 and 6 or whatever. If you're running like Dylan Holloway, Raph Lavoie, and Matthias Janmark as a fourth line, and they're scoring goals for you, and then you got McLeod, Foegele, and whoever's going to be on the left side there, like all of a sudden you start to see how this is a forward group that has the depth that can go up against a Colorado or a Vegas, because those teams have bottom 6s that are not full of plugs, not full of just penalty killers who can't do anything offensively or at 5-on-5. It's full of guys who skate like hell and create offensive chances. If you're running a bottom 6 that has pieces like Lavoie, Holloway, Foegele, McLeod, and Connor Brown all in there, all of a sudden I start to think you're going, okay, we have 4 lines that on any given night can chip in a goal or two.
Yep, that sure would be nice to get that. A little depth scoring. Never heard of her. No, just kidding. But we've talked about the forwards enough. The D pairings tonight, it's going to be Matthias Ekholm with Evan Bouchard. The big boys they're back together, I guess, with no Philip Broberg. Once again, he was sent down to Bakersfield. Then it's Darnell Nurse and Cody Ceci. I've got a couple bones to pick with Cody Ceci lately. Personally, he has been getting on my nerves. I'm kind of at my wit's end with it. Then it's Brett Kulak and Vinny Desharnais. So let me ask you first, Tyler, what do you think of Ekholm and Bush coming back together?
I like it. I thought the two of them had a really good game together the other night. They played almost 15 minutes at 5-on-5 together. The results were really, really positive. Just the tough part for me is that right now, I don't think we've had a game where both Ekholm and Bouchard and the Nurse CC pairing have both been good in the same hockey game. And that's really what the Oilers need out of that top 4. Kulak and Desharnais are going to be fine. They're going to give you good minutes. I don't have any sort of concerns there because, again, they don't get asked to do as much as those guys in the top 4. But when it comes to Nurse and CC and Ekholm and Bouchard, one of them's got to be going up against the other team's best. One of them's got to be taking the bulk of the D-zone starts. And right now, there hasn't been a game where Jay Woodcroft can sit there at the end of the night and go, whoa, I got exactly what I needed from both of those pairings. It's either been Ekholm's look slow and Bouchard can't be trusted to move a puck up ice, or it's been Cece's making bad decisions and Nurse is scrambly. I mean, I would argue Nurse is, it's easy in my opinion. He's easily been their most consistent defenseman. but the Oilers need more consistency from the other three guys in their top four.
Thank you, Tyler, because I agree. Darnell Nurse, he's been great this year. He's good. And I don't care what anyone says. I was getting into it with a buddy of mine last night who he's just ripping into Darnell Nurse. And you know, Tyler, when you have the friends who just like clearly don't watch the games and then they're just talking and talking and talking. I couldn't handle it last night, and I had a little snap show. He's just a whipping boy no matter what. He could do anything. He could save an old lady from getting hit by a bus, and somebody would find a way to blame it on this man. I love Darnell. I think he's been very consistent. I like how you pointed out, though, the third pairing of Kulak and Vinny Desharnais, I think has been very good, very serviceable. Brett Kulak's the man, Tyler. Can you go off for Brett Kulak for me? You know that's my boy.
Okay, but it also would have been nice.
No buts.
Brett Kulak trying to become a goal scorer here, people. He's got to put those pucks home. But him and Vinny Desharnais are just a good third pairing. Like, I like what Jay Woodcroft's getting out of him right now. So I have zero problem with them. I think that's part of the reason why I'm not sitting here going, ooh, back to 11-6 is worrisome. I like the 11-7 approach a lot of nights, because if one of Vinny or Broberg are struggling, then it's very easy, like you had to do last game with Broberg, to sit one down and say, okay, we have some coverage here. But Vinny hasn't been struggling a lot as of late. So I like this move. I think you can trust Kulak and Desharnais with 8 to 12 minutes at 5-on-5 on any given night. They're going to help you out on the PK. I think that third pairing, like, honestly, the third pairing and Nurse, I'm not worried about them at all when it comes to this blue line. I'm worried about Cece's decision-making, Bouchard's consistency, and Ekholm's foot speed. Those three things need to come through.
Yep, very well said. That's a pretty good breakdown of the Oilers blue line right there. That's pretty accurate. I see this comment from Mike D. Can we please just win this game? I love that. We just got to see one go through the hoop. I like how you said Vinny's game has been turning around. It was just a little confidence. You see one go in the back of the net, everything starts rolling, everything starts moving and going. I think he's looked absolutely fantastic. I'm just kind of closing up here on the Oilers lineup. Somebody asked, would you be able to have Lavoie? Does the math work to have Brown and Lavoie, though, Tyler?
I think it does. Just looking.
I am not a math guy, so that's not me.
Yeah, I would have to double check. I don't think, because if you're going to waive Janmark, Janmark's $1 million, right? So you can send down Janmark, and he's more expensive. That gives you more cap relief than keeping Lavoie on the roster. So, yeah, right now, the Oilers' projected cap space is $377,000. And that is, again, with the cap hits of Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark counting against the team, right? They have 13 forwards and 6 D-men on the roster. So when everyone's healthy, if you waive Matthias Janmark, that's $1 million you open up. You have enough money to recall Broberg.
Yep. Just looking in here. Odin asked, was there news on Brown? The last I heard was the word muscular. I don't really know what that means. Tyler, you got any news?
It's not his knee, because I think the concern is, remember Max Pacioretty last year? He came back from blowing up his knee, and then third, fourth game into the season, he blew up the other knee. So I think you're always concerned it's just going to be something with that knee again, but that's not the case with Brown, at least from what we've heard.
Travis Smith in here, all capitals or just all exclamations. Please win this game. Yeah, I feel confident tonight. We will get into Bordzy's bankroll in just a bit, but when it's Smashville, you know the mayor is here, and I'm expecting some big things from that top line tonight, but it's about that time. It's 29 minutes past the hour. I think they're going to be going out for their line rushes and their skates right very soon, Tyler. So you keep an eye on Twitter as well as everybody in the chat. Please let me know. We're going to get into our starting goaltenders matchup. Once again, these are expected, not confirmed, but it's presented by Montorio Homes. At Montorio Homes, you can build your dream home your way without breaking the bank. Work with a reputable and accredited home builder who believes your dream home should be affordable without compromising on quality or personalization. Right now, you at home, you on your couch, you can visit any one of Montorio Homes' show homes in the Edmonton area. Visit Montorio Homes today at montorio.ca. And let's start building the home you've always envisioned. And let's start getting some goalie numbers that we've always envisioned, Tyler. So these are projected. This is what we think is going to be tonight. And it's UC Saros against Jack Campbell. You see it on your screen there. UC Saros has a 4-5-0 record with a 268 goals against average and a 909 save percentage. I would kill to have numbers like that for my goaltender. God, that would be nice to just have that confidence. Then you see the man on the other side of the ice. It's Soup. It's Jack Campbell. He has a 1-3-0 record with a hard to look at 435 goals against average and an 878 save percentage. Tyler, I said this before. Jack Campbell expected to get the start, and he hasn't played a game since October 24th against Mini. I'm no math guy, but I'm pretty sure that's like 11 days or something like that. That's a very long time to not play. I always think of Jack Campbell. I don't know. He's a little bit of a head case to me. He's a guy who I need to be in a good groove, right? He's got to be feeling right. And I feel like that has got to be very hard to do when you don't play for over a week.
Yeah, but I mean, if I have no sympathy for
Yeah,
him.
no,
right?
no, I'm not. Yeah, no.
If Jack Campbell comes in and was giving the Oilers more quality starts, he'd be playing more hockey and wouldn't have long stretches off. So there's pressure on him to come in and have a good game here. Just again, I'm keeping an eye on Twitter to see if we have our confirmed starters. One thing the Oilers did do is they tweeted out a photo of a helmet with the number 62 on it. So that tells you Raph Lavoie is going to be rocking the number 62 in this hockey game. But for me, the more important thing is who we're going to get out of the Nashville crease, because UC Saros, you know my feelings on him. He's one of the best goalies in the NHL. His career numbers as a whole against the Oilers are actually not that bad. He's got like a 908 save percentage and a 3-something goals against average. But the numbers in his last 5 starts against the Oilers are ugly. 5 starts, just 1 win. The Oilers have beaten him 4 of their last 5 head-to-head games. 880 save percentage, 431 goals against average. The Oilers have absolutely lit up UC Saros in 4 of their last 5 meetings against him. I mean, if Nashville, that's why I'm worried or not worried. I think there's a chance Nashville maybe goes with someone else in this game, Kevin Lankinen, because they're on this long road trip and you need to give Saros rest at some point, and he hasn't been good recently against the Oilers. But I don't know, man. Saros, it still does make me nervous, but we'll see what we get between the pipes.
When you read those numbers that you just did for the last couple of games, I am licking my chops over here, looking to spray on that Betway board later tonight. As we remember, we played Nashville already once this season. UC Saros was lit up for 4 goals on 11 shots. And Gavin, we remember we were watching here, and I was very surprised when we started the second period, and Saros was not in the net, so he was yanked in that one. I'm hoping to see a similar performance tonight. Saros, we said there, he's 4-5-0. He's a Vezina caliber goalie. He always has been. He's very good. We know what you get with him. But Leon Draisaitl, he's going to be picking corners left, right, and center. Some people on here, Scotty91 said, to be fair to Campbell, Skinner hasn't been anything special either. That's right. Tyler, you're clearly okay with riding Jack Campbell in this game. Just kind of looking ahead, Monday against Vancouver, if Jack Campbell plays very well, would you have him go back in or would you go back to Stu? I know it's a little early to be talking about that, but I'm just curious where your brain's at.
Yeah, I mean, if Campbell comes in and pitches a shutout, yeah, sure, you can go back to him on Monday. If Campbell comes in and, looks average, then I'm probably going back to Stu on Monday. Again, I didn't love his game against the Dallas Stars, but he wasn't terrible. He wasn't the only reason they lost in that game. So I'm probably leaning more towards Stu unless Campbell comes in and like he was last time against Nashville, he's lights out.
Yeah, once again, these are just expected goalie matchups. I think I've pulled down on Twitter to refresh already 18 times right now during this segment, trying to find a little information. Just looking through here. Some people in the chat. Pardon, Tyler?
Campbell's confirmed. Jack Michael says Campbell led the Oilers onto the ice. Still waiting to find out what's going on in Nashville.
Okay, so we'll put a pin in that, and then we'll make sure when we know the information. But Christopher Palmer says it here, and I love it. I can't wait till I see the video. Rookie lap upcoming. That's probably coming right about now, or just did, right? I hope he went no Bucky too.
Yeah, he did. No bucket. Yeah, Gene Principe on Twitter.
Nice. Attaboy.
So, with the hair flowing, is gonna get in his first game. There's also a rookie lap on Nashville, and Saros is the confirmed starter.
Okay, there we go. We got the information we were looking for. Shout out to Oilers Twitter. It is such a family out there. Everybody knows to keep us updated in here. Campbell has all the highlight reel saves, but man, he's got to save floaters too, says Nova. I agree. I said multiple times, I think the Oilers lead the league in save of the year candidates. That's not necessarily a great thing to have because you're clearly out of position or have to make a crazy obvious goal save. So, I mean, hey, you take the good with the bad. Cato asks, why does Soup have to get a shutout to start back-to-back games? Can't we just hope for a win? Yeah, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. I agree there, Cato. Let's just see a W in the column tonight, and I will feel happy about that. But it's about time. Let's get in to the Nashville Predators lineup, and that one's presented by Greta Bar Yeg, baby. You know me. I need to get my photo somewhere inside of Greta. I feel like I'm going there so much lately. I need a little shrine in the corner. I love Greta. It's the best. Once again, couldn't get tickets to the game today. You want maybe a little day atmosphere? Get a couple. What does Drake say? Can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. Well, it's the afternoon, so hey, throw a couple beers back, get things rolling, and then go see Tyler at the Claire Drake Arena later tonight. Greta. I love Greta. They are the best. Okay, Gavin, can you pull it up for me right here? It is the Nashville Predators projected roster tonight. The Preds, once again, come in with a 4-6-0 record. A top line of Philip Forsberg, Ryan O'Reilly, and Gustav Nyquist. That top line is good. I don't know if they necessarily have the top line skill to compete like with real Stanley Cup contenders, but that's a really good group right there. Tyler, hopefully Gustav Nyquist saw a dentist in Edmonton because he lost some chiclets the other night when his own teammate, Thomas Novak, ran into him and knocked his teeth out. I said to you before the show, for me, there is nothing more hockey guy-like than a player literally picking up his own teeth off of the ice. So Gustav Nyquist, he's got bonus points for me. But the more we look down, yep, it is Kiefer Sherwood with Thomas Novak and Luke Evangelista. I'm a big Thomas Novak guy. The last game we played against him, I said he was my player to watch. So yeah, I believe he even scored a goal in that game. Right? Yeah, he did. So he's a pretty good player. He's also the guy who knocked out his teeth. So I find that very funny. He's trying to get that top line spot. Then third line of Liam Foudy, Colton Sissons, and Yakov Trenin. Then a fourth line, Cole Smith, Juuso Parssinen, and Samuel Fagemo. Then the D core of Roman Josi. God, is he good? I would love to have him with us, but he's paired with Dante Fabro. Excuse me. Then there's Ryan McDonough with Alexandre Carrier, Jeremy Lazon, and the boy Tyson Barrie. So I guess, Tyler, let me just ask you. You saw Gustav Nyquist pecking up his teeth off the ice. That was sick. But it sucked that it was his own teammate. There's really no reason for that to happen. It was just a very unfortunate play.
Also, like, just thinking about how much pain you're in, then to be like in all that pain and be like, oh my God, I guess I should like go pick up my teeth now. That's a little messed up. But sticking with the Preds lineup, Aaron, Tyson Barrie, first game back in Edmonton since the trade. So expect a little tribute video for Tyson.
Yep, that'll be very good. I hope to see that one on Twitter afterwards.
Yeah,
I love a good tribute video. Nick Alberga on Leafs Morning Take the other day was kind of going off about how there's too many tribute videos these days. And I agree maybe to an extent, but Tyson Barrie, for me, he's a guy who absolutely deserves one because I love Matthias Ekholm. And so thank you very much, Tyson Barrie. But yeah, speaking of Thomas Novak there, he is centering the second line. Tyler, he's my player to watch on this team. I guess let me ask you, he leads the team in goals. He has 5. Colton Sissons also has 5. I didn't have that on my bingo card. Who's the player in this lineup that stands out to you?
Honestly, my take is going to kind of be that there's not a lot on this Nashville Predators lineup that does stand out to me. Like, obviously, Philip Forsberg and Roman Josi are two guys who can take over hockey games. But if we're going to do the whole star power against star power thing, the Oilers clearly have the edge there. The Oilers clearly have the edge in depth. The one area where they maybe don't have it, or where they definitely don't have it, I should say, is between the pipes. Like, UC Saros has a much better chance of stealing this hockey game than Jack Campbell. But someone in the YouTube chat just said, this isn't the Dallas Stars. And I mean, Jay was making fun of me on ON every day on Thursday when I was waxing poetic about just how good this Stars team is. I'm not saying that with this Nashville Predators team. They are not that good on paper. And then I'm sitting here looking at their recent games. man, like they've been getting caved at 5-on-5 in a lot of hockey as of late. They got outshot 26-16 by the Kraken. They did manage to outshoot the Canucks by 3, but before that, got outshot 28-16 by the Leafs, got outshot 23-14 by the Preds. They've been by the Canucks. They've been outshot in 4 of their last 5 hockey games at 5-on-5. When you take that, combine it with how well the Oilers have played over the last couple of games, unless UC Saros is going to go pull an all-timer here tonight, the Oilers should be able to dig deep and win this hockey game. This Preds team's not playing good. They're not built that well. I don't think they're a playoff team. They're not a great road team. Go hammer them.
It's a get-right game. This is my get-right game. I need to see some points. Sorry, excuse me. I see Christopher Palmer in here asked, Bordsy, are you ever going to get out to a home game? Well, I went to the Heritage Classic, so I got to have that one. I feel like that one counts for a couple. But no, duty calls. We don't avoid the grind here. I just live here in this office, but I have the greatest job in the world. Maybe the further the season goes along here, Chris, maybe I'll get out to one and I'll get Tyler to just pregame with Tyler maybe. Or no, I can do like you and maybe just bounce a little bit early, actually. Yeah, there we go. But looking at that lineup for the Preds, I don't want to sound like a dick here, but when I look at that bottom 6, it's the least threatening thing I've ever seen. Am I just being ignorant, or is that a subpar group?
No, it's a subpar group. And sorry, it was Maynard Nugent-Spivey who said this team's not the Dallas Stars, and he was upset that I never give him credit. I try, but things are moving fast. But yeah, this bottom 60, like, come on, that's a lot of American League talent. You mentioned Colton Sissons with 5 goals. 3 of them came in one game against the Boston Bruins. So he's basically had one good game so far this season. Granted, the Oilers bottom 6 has not produced a lot this year. So maybe we're sitting here and talking out of 2 sides of our mouths a little bit, but I think the Oilers bottom 6 has a much higher upside than this Preds group. This team's just not that good, man. And like, if the Oilers lose this, like, I'm going to be really, really pissed off no matter how the loss is. If they go and outshoot the Predators 60-5 and lose this hockey game, I'm still going to be pissed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I do like Spicy Tyler, but I do not want that at all. So the top pairing from the D for the Predators is Roman Josi and Dante Fabro. We know what Roman Josi is, Tyler. He's one of the best in the league. He's an absolute stud. But what have you thought? Well,
this is interesting from Jack Michaels. The Oilers are going to have a full lineup today. Connor Brown is in the lineup for the Oilers.
Let's go, babies. Okay, so this is the game then, right? That his bonus kicks in?
Yeah, this is the game his bonus kicks in, so that'll put an end to that conversation. Shout out to my boy who knew there was $3.25 million on the line and was like, I can take a shift. I'm good to go. But yeah, so the Oilers are going to have a full 12-man forward group here. Is Connor Brown, very surprisingly. I mean, Jay Woodcroft came out yesterday, said he was day-to-day. They obviously called up Lavoie. Can we flash up the lines when we have a sec then maybe? And maybe we could take a peek and try to guess how this Oilers team is.
I was not expecting this news at all right now. Okay, I'm jacked up. Tyler, how would you do this now?
Well, you're going to need Derek Ryan, I guess, to play a little bit of center for you, which I know isn't his best spot unless you wanted to move Ryan or Dylan Holloway to a center ice position. But I think you probably keep the top 6 the same. Maybe you do something like I don't know, do you go McLeod, Holloway, and Connor Brown, and then you go Fogle, Derek Ryan, Raph Lavoie, and see if that gives you a spark? Maybe Dylan Holloway, Derek Ryan, and Raph Lavoie, throw a couple of kids with a vet and see what you get there. Couple different options, but I would imagine Connor Brown, again, if he's not 100%, I'd imagine they just throw him in the bottom 6.
Wow, I cannot believe that news. I was not expecting that at all. That is great news, and great news for Connor Brown's wallet. I like what you said there, Tyler. Just a visual of like he just skates on the ice for like 3 seconds, just comes back off. Pay me. Put the money in my hand. But yeah, so that's... Oh, I was going to ask you. Sorry, I got distracted there by the Connor Brown news. We know what Roman Josi is. He plays with Dante Fabro. Don't get to watch a lot of Preds games. You're the daily face-off. I think they were calling you an insider the other day. What do you think of Dante Fabro's game? Can you kind of break him down for me?
He's offensive first, right? That's always Dante Fabro's kind of thing. And I don't think the defensive side of his game has caught up to his offensive abilities at the NHL. That's a reason why you've heard him in trade rumors a lot over the last 12 to 16 months here. I think what they're trying to do with these D pairings in Nashville is hide them, insulate them as best as they can, put him with Roman Josi, who's one of the best all-around defensemen in the league. And maybe you don't notice Dante Fabro's warts as much because Roman Josi can do so much on his own. So that's kind of my takeaway on Fabro. He's a guy, they're trying to make it work in Nashville. Is he a long-term top 4 NHL defenseman? I'm not sold on that.
Okay. That's kind of what I thought, but I wasn't very sure. You're the one with all that knowledge and that brain of yours right there. That's why we love Mr. Yaremchuk here. He's got an answer for everything. He could talk about every team. I absolutely love it. Christopher Palmer, I did see that you put in here all capitals. I am taking you to a game. I am holding you to that now. So Lance Kane owes me a beach vacation. Christopher Palmer owes me a trip to an Oiler game. There we go. See? It's a family in here. We're going to hang out. We're going to be real good boys. And then we go to Greta after.
I'm scouring Twitter, and I need to know if you potentially know these guys. If not, maybe you want to get in on the group. There's a group of guys who just have Kulak painted on their chests and are at the game shirtless. So that's your kind of crew, hey?
Those are my new best friends. What? There's a Kulak group that I'm not a part of? Dude, that's sick. They're shirtless right now? I love hockey fans. Hockey fans are just the absolute best. Oh, man, I gotta find those guys. Christopher Palmer, we gotta get seats next to those guys when we go to the game so we can get going. Granted, I don't know. Do they look jacked? Do they look like jack guys? I don't want to sit next to them if they're jacked.
I think you'll fit in with them. They just look like dudes having a good time.
Nice. Average dudes. Let's go. That's what we're all about here. But okay, I think that's enough for the Nashville Predators. Once again, projected lineup. We will see. Man, I can't believe Connor Brown is playing in this game today. Wow, that is great news. I thought he was going to be out for like 2 weeks. But okay, let's move along here. We're going to get into our Betway bets of the day today. It's Bordzy's Bankroll. Betway 19 plus. Please play responsibly. I didn't bet on a single thing last night, Tyler. I took the entire night off. Did you throw down on anything?
I'd Sabres money line, and they got waxed by the Philadelphia Flyers.
Dude, are the Flyers good? Torts has that team absolutely humming right now.
They're absolutely rolling. Like, they are not going to be an easy out. But I said this before during the pregame show when the Oilers took on the Flyers. It's worst case scenario for the Flyers. They're going to be an 83-point team. They're going to miss the playoffs by 12 to 13 points. They're going to pick 11th overall next year, and their rebuild will just stay stuck where it is.
Yeah, that actually sounds, I could totally see that happening. That's just stuck in mediocrity. But okay, it's time for some Bordsy Bankroll. Gavin, do we have some stats that we can throw up and show the people? So we look here. Actually, Gavin, you take us through this. You pick these stats.
Already. The Oilers have won 9 of the last 10 matchups against Nashville. The Oilers have also covered the -1.5 puck line in 4 of the last 5 games against Nashville. And in that time span, outscoring them 26-12. So expecting another high-scoring affair tonight. Again, the Oilers have won 9 of the last 10 matchups against Nashville. McDavid has gotten 2+ points against Nashville in 5 straight games, and Draisaitl has gotten over 3.5 shots on goal in 3 of the last 4 games against Nashville, and he has exactly averaged 3.5 shots per game throughout those 4 games. And Draisaitl, we all know, is the mayor of Smashville.
Hear ye, hear ye. I love Leon Draisaitl matched up against the Nashville Predators. Those are some good stats right there. So without further ado, whip it up on screen. Let's find out what we're going to be betting on today, people. Once again, if you're new, Bordzy's Bankroll, Gavin is going to create a poll in the YouTube chat. We're going to vote on which one you like the most. And hey, if you want to get in on a little squad ride, we're going to hit it. Such a good feeling. Last game, Evander Kane was what we picked him, 1+ points. A nice, easy, cool -120. Sometimes you don't want to get crazy with it. We scored in the first period and we got the points. Such a good feeling knowing you've cast your bet that early. Saw a couple people come in the After Dark chat to let me know that they were squad riding with. So we always love that. Your first choice is going to be the Edmonton Oilers win by 2 on the puck line. That is currently at +135. Then it's McDavid 2+ points and Edmonton to win at +137, followed by Leon Draisaitl, the mayor, and he's going to be over 3.5 shots, currently at +110. Tyler, let me ask you first, which one of these jumps out to you the most and you like?
Honestly, I like them all, and I actually have
+22, baby.
before the show started, and I have all three of these locked in. I think Draisaitl should be firing pucks, playing on McDavid's wing, 100%. Like, he's going to be in the mood to shoot, especially considering how last game went for him. McDavid is due for a 2-point game. I mean, let's be honest. McDavid's due for a 4 or 5-point game right away here. So if you like the Oilers on the money line, I don't think they're winning without 2 from Connor tonight. Oilers on the puck line. Yeah, get right spot. Giddy up. Let's go. Another one I like on Betway is Oilers to get 33 shots on net, or 33 or more shots on net. So that's a spot. The Preds have given up that amount in a couple games recently. And I mean, we just watched the Oilers put up 47 on the Stars. So why not?
Yep, I actually like that one too. I might have to sprinkle on that. Gavin, which one is standing out to you right now? I see in the poll right now, who's in the lead? Dry over
3.5 shots, and that's probably what I'm riding with out of all these three. Dry plus money on a shot prop. I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Ty?
I'll have something after. Finish up the bets.
Okay, just looking here. I think I'm gonna. Well, I'm throwing down on whatever one we vote, obviously, but I think I'm going with the puck line as well tonight. Could be famous last words here, but it's a get right game. I've already said it 8 times today. I expect a point night from the boys. McDavid 2+ points. He really is due. He doesn't. I still think he's injured and he's laboring just a little bit. There's something going on there, but Connor McDavid at 70%, I think could still get 5 points in a game. No problem. Yeah, it is looking like a landslide in here so far. Dry over 3.5 shots. Currently at 64% of the vote. Hey, we ride together. We die together. Bad boys for life. That's what Bordzy's bankroll is all about. Tyler, what are you giggling at over there?
12:26, the Nashville Predators tweeted UC Stardos, and with a graphic saying their starting goalie was going to be UC Saros. Sounds like something potentially came up, maybe even in warmups. The Predators just tweeted, JK everyone, Lanky. So Kevin Lankinen is going to be getting the start for the Nashville Predators today. So a couple of surprises in warmup.
Wow.
Connor Brown playing, and the Oilers aren't getting UC Saros. They're getting Lankinen. It's going to be just his second start of the season, but his third appearance. He gave up 2 goals on 19 shots when he came in a relief of UC Saros against the Oilers. And then in his only other start on Halloween, he gave up 4 goals on 26 shots against the Vancouver Canucks.
See, Tyler, this is why we go for an hour right before puck drop. The people need their information. They need breaking news. We're going to give it to them. Wow, that is 2 things I did not expect at all preparing for this today. Once again, I think everybody probably just clenched up a little bit when we think backup goaltender in the net tonight. I see right here, Maynard, great, backup. Rob Kent, yay, another backup. Tyler Mulick, oh no, goalie time. Nova, oh yay, a backup. Loomis, welp, we're boned. Oh my God, that's funny. They all just came in all at the same time right there. I said, everybody's clenched up. Tyler, confidence level, it's a backup goalie. I know that we get goalied, but it's a backup goaltender. It's not UC Saros. This is a good thing. I refuse to believe that it's not.
In 3 career games against the Edmonton Oilers, Kevin Lankinen has not registered a win. He has an .864 save percentage and a .452 goals against average. He's a perfectly fine backup. He's the new age Scott Wedgwood, but he's not that good. Like, this shouldn't matter. The Oilers should be able to get to this guy.
Yeah, I see Travis in here says, teams are just starting backups against us. Sad face. I can't handle another loss to a backup. Yeah. Oh, nice. I like this from Streeter. He said, the clip has been unloaded, boys. I'm chasing the juice. Yeah, that news for sure. I might have to throw down a couple extra bets now as well. But once again, it could be such famous last words. I got to not say too many things on pre-gaming because I absolutely have to face the music on After Dark every time, just 3 hours later. So, hey, we're riding the roller coaster, right, Gavin? We're trying to get back on track again.
Again, exactly.
Anything else happening in the sports world right now or later tonight besides the U of A Golden Bears, Tyler?
Yeah, besides U of A Golden Bears, the schedule tonight in the NHL, there's a couple of interesting games. Aaron, obviously you do a lot of stuff with Leafs Nation. Leafs looking for a bounce back tonight against the Sabres. I mean, that's going to be an interesting game to watch. If you want an underdog that I'm kind of keeping a close eye on this evening, it's the Montreal Canadiens taking on the St. Louis Blues. The Blues played last night, and they got a big win against the New Jersey Devils. So I could see Montreal maybe on a Saturday night stunning St. Louis a little bit. I think they're plus 110 on the money line there. And then a big one for Oilers fans to watch later tonight. Avs Golden Knights at 8 o'clock. Giddy up.
I don't know if I counted properly, but I think I'm counting 15 games in the NHL today. And it starts at 1 p.m. with us. What a good sports day. It's going to be a good sports day. I'm a college football guy, so Saturdays are all, I'm just a football guy in general. I even love the Elks. We even love the CFL. We support all walks of football on this show. Anything with guys crashing into each other, I'll take it. For games for me tonight, yeah, I like that Leafs-Sabres game. Devin Levi, I think, is expected to come back in the net. Yep. I had high hopes for him. I may have drafted him a little early in fantasy hockey, and I am regretting that one. Gavin, any games jumping out to you? You're a big Senators guy.
I am. I was kind of looking at that game, but
it's a tire fire over there. It's just
they're decimated with injuries, and that's why I'm probably riding Tampa Bay Lightning. They're at plus 100. They're underdogs in this game, which is absolutely crazy to me. The Sens D-core is absolutely banged up. Their forward group is banged up, so I like Tampa Bay tonight in the evening slate.
The Tampa Bay Lightning are underdogs right now? Wow, yeah, I'm going to have to throw down on that one as well. Just scrolling through, nothing that really. The Avs-Vegas game is going to be very good later tonight. It's nice. I'm going to actually get to spend my Saturday night watching some hockey games that aren't the Oilers. Get to maybe see a Greta right there. Hey, everybody, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Just quickly, the Oilers released their official lineup card here. McDavid, Hyman, Draisaitl stays the same. Nuge, Gagne, Kane stays the same. McLeod, Holloway, Fogle, the same. Derek Ryan, Ralph Lavoie, Connor Brown. So unsure if that's going to be Jay Woodcroft's actual plan or if he just threw Connor Brown in because he woke up this morning feeling good and they're just going to jumble the lines. But that's at least what the Oilers sent out as their official lineup card ahead of the game. So Connor Brown officially in. Jack Campbell, the official starter. Kevin Lankinen also, just going through my email, the official starter for the Preds tonight.
There we go. All that breaking news. You can get it all at one place. And it's here on the Oilersnation YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Please like the video. We're only at 52 likes. Rookie numbers. Got to bump those numbers up. I see one of my we can end the poll here now, Gavin. So the winner with 53% of the vote is going to be Leon Draisaitl's shot prop. I got to get that one in right after I end the show. I always got to do this. I always cut it so close because the Betway lines stop right there. I see my buddy in here, Super Gremlin. That's a hell of a name right there. He said, "What's the story behind your hoodie, Bordsy?" I actually found it in the back seat of his car yesterday. I think it had been in there, he said, for an entire year. So he's a thief. So everybody get on Super Gremlin in here. But full send. Shout out the Nelk Boys. Shout out the Nelk Boys. Everybody give me your score predictions in here. Tyler, we will end there. What is your final score prediction? And maybe an anytime goal score.
6-2 Oilers. The chalky play is obviously Leon Draisaitl, but I'm going to say Ryan Nugent-Hopkins finds the back of the net as well.
Gavin?
I what I predicted on Oilers Nation Instagram, 2-0 Oilers win, and I think Dylan Holloway scores his first of the year.
I'm going to go with a nice 5-2 Oilers victory. Cash the over. My anytime goal scorer is not on the Edmonton Oilers. It's Tyson Barrie, baby.
Oh, man.
I'm sprinkling on that one just a tad. So I want to say thank you very much to everybody in the chat
Tyler
today.
got something.
Oh,
yeah, we got a couple more notes here. The Nashville
Predators.
I got to get my bet in. You go.
Yeah. Jack Michaels is saying he's a scratch, but he's on the official lineup card that the Oilers sent out. So Connor Brown, we don't know if he's playing or not. He took warmups. He's on the lineup card that they sent out to media. I'm looking at it. And the Nashville Predators have scratched Ryan McDonough. It looks like he went through warmups and could not play with a lower body injury. So, who knows? We don't know. We know nothing about. I mean, the Predators send out a tweet saying Saros is starting, then change their minds and say, "JK, it's Kevin Lankinen." Connor Brown was out, warmed up, took line rushes, is on the lineup card, but now potentially not playing. Ryan McDonough's not playing either.
Well, if you see 28 out on the ice, that means Connor Brown's playing. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm sure the blender will be out. As I said, I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat and a big thank you to all of our sponsors. That is Sherwood Ford, That's Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. That's Betway, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. That's Montorio Homes, and that's Greta. Once again, we'll be live on the same YouTube channel right after the game. Coomzy is going to join me. I will talk to you all after the game, and let's go Oilers.